I'm carrying your eggs somehow, announced the 7-foot dragon to her tiny human husband. The wind in the mountain village always carried the scent of pine, smoke, and dragon scale polish. For most human travelers, it was a terrifying place, dragons walking freely through the markets, their tails sweeping dust, their heavy claws shaking the stone pathways. But for Unveil, a small, quiet human mechanic, barely 5'6", this village had become home. Because this was where his wife lived. His wife Kaelira Thornfire, daughter of the Dragon Queen. 7 feet tall, radiant crimson scales, wings that draped like royal curtains, horns that curled like polished obsidian, and a temper that could melt steel. But to she was gentle, warm, fiercely loyal, and softer than she would ever admit. The villagers called their relationship strange. Some whispered impossible, some whispered beautiful, but to them it was simply love. And today, their world was about to change forever. The strange morningerin woke up to the sound of heavy pacing. Thud, thud, thud. Not angry pacing, not anxious pacing, but something different, like Kaelira was trying to walk off a storm inside her chest. He rubbed his eyes and sat up. Kaelira, you okay? The pacing stopped. A large shadow fell across the room as Kaelira turned. Her wings twitched, her tail curled. She held her claws tightly to her belly. She said slowly, voice shaking. We need to talk. Unblinked. Oh gods, am I in trouble? No. No, sweetheart. You didn't do anything wrong. She took a deep breath. Something happened. She lowered herself to sit, the bed creaking under her weight. Her golden slit-pupilled eyes stared into his human ones. I'm carrying your eggs. Silence. Absolute universe warping. Silence. My what? Your eggs? She repeated, tapping her stomach. Our eggs. They're inside me. UN stared at her. He blinked. He whispered, but that's biologically impossible. Humans don't so much as function with. I know. She snapped, wings fluttering. I know it shouldn't be possible. But I went to the healer's den this morning because I've been craving metal shavings and hot coals, and I thought maybe something was wrong. She took a deep breath, and the healer said, I'm pregnant, and that the magical signature inside the eggs is yours. Aaron's knees nearly gave way. His wife was pregnant, with dragon eggs. His dragon eggs. He leaned against the wall, dizzy. Are you sure? He whispered. Kaelira nodded, eyes glistening. I can feel them. And I think you should hear the heartbeat. She gently guided his trembling hand to the warm scales of her stomach. A faint sound. Rhythmic, soft, like the flutter of tiny wings inside a shell. Tremored under his fingertips, he choked. They're real. Kaelira lowered her forehead to his. They're ours. The fear butt beneath Kaelira's joy. Ian saw the tremor of fear. He cupped her muzzle gently. She closed her eyes. What's wrong? He asked softly. Her voice wavered. Ian. It's not normal for a dragon to carry hybrid eggs. It's never been recorded. The healer didn't know what would happen. She said the eggs might grow too fast, or too slow, or my fire glands might react badly. Her claws shook. I'm scared. Owen climbed into her lap without hesitation, placing his forehead against her chest. You won't do this alone. Not for a second. Kaelira's breath steadied.
I know.
That's why I came to you first. The Dragon Queen arrives, the door burst open. A towering presence filled the home scales like burning wine. Wings 10 feet across, eyes ancient and sharp. The Dragon Queen, Kaelira's mother, unstiffened. Kaelira groaned. Oh no. The queen inhaled deeply, scenting the air. My daughter. Her eyes narrowed. Eureka fertility.
Mother.
And fear. Mother. The queen's gaze snapped to Uno. You. Her voice was a low growl. What did you do to my daughter? Ewan held up both palms. Respectfully, Your Majesty. She's 7 feet tall and has claws the size of knives. Anything that happened was mutually agreed on. Kaelira choked on a laugh. The Dragon Queen stepped closer, sniffing Kaelira's stomach. Her eyes widened. Impossible. Then her head snapped toward again, eyes blazing. You impregnated my daughter. Squeaked. Kaelira jumped between them. Mother. Don't breathe fire on my husband again? I just fixed the roof. The Queen paused. Then, slowly, her expression softened, her wings lowered. Kaelira, she whispered, voice trembling. You're with eggs. You're finally with eggs. Kaelira nodded. It's true. Queen touched her daughter's stomach gently. Then she turned to You've done what no human ever has. I really didn't do it intentionally, muttered. The Queen ignored that. Pulling him into a hug so tight his ribs nearly cracked, you have given our bloodline a miracle. The first kick that night. Kaelira lay curled around her warm scales creating a cocoon of safety. She whispered into the dark, are you happy? He looked up at her, at this powerful, terrifying, beautiful dragon who trusted him with her life. With you? He whispered. Always. She kissed him softly, her lips warm as embers. Then she gasped. What? One of them moved. Aaron's eyes widened. He pressed his hand to her belly again, a tiny thump. Then another. He laughed shocked, breathless, emotional. They kicked. Kaelira's eyes shimmered. I can't believe this, she whispered. Believe it, Unan said, holding her claws. We're going to be parents. She wrapped her wings around him, pulling him tight against her. Thank you, she whispered, for loving me. Even when I'm too big, too loud, too hot, you're perfect. He interrupted. She quieted. Then softly, almost shyly, Kaelira asked, will you help me raise them? Yuan smiled. With my whole life. The future, outside their tiny home, the Dragon Queen stood guard, wings spread protectively. Word was already spreading through the mountains, dragons whispering, stunned, a human and a dragon. Created life. A hybrid line? A new beginning inside. Kaelira held close as the tiny heartbeats fluttered under her scales. For the first time in dragon history, for the first time in either of their lives, they weren't just lovers, they were a family. And nothing, no tradition, no law, no fear would ever break that.